Mental Health Awareness Month continues here on Presidential Experience Live. I'm your host, Kanae Corder, National Certified Counselor and the world's #1 clinical hypnotherapist specializing in financial therapy and stress management. I am still so very excited about Mental Health Awareness Month and pretty consistent, which makes me proud of myself and of you because you've been here. I've seen you guys listening and downloading episodes and hopefully sharing. I can't tell if you're sharing, but I hope so. I've gotten some really good feedback over the last couple of days, and I'm so thankful for it. Tomorrow, I will not have an episode because this is episode 99. Is that not the most incredible thing you have heard in a day? Yes, today, that's the most incredible thing that's happened today is this 99th episode, because that means the next episode is 100. Man, that is an accomplishment. It really is. And so that means Tuesday, I'm not going to do an episode because I want the 100 episodes to air on Wednesday because it'll be longer. And that's when we do our longer episodes is on Wednesday. So today we're going to talk about insecure versus self-conscious. Insecure versus self-conscious. And the reason why we're going to talk about that is because I've noticed that insecurity and even self-consciousness affect our mental health. I mean, really affect our mental health, sometimes in ways that detrimental to our day-to-day life. I want to address it and I want to see if I can give you some insight to look at it differently. There's not going to be an exercise that you're going to do. It really is just going to be more contemplation more than anything. So like I said, tomorrow, no episode. Wednesday, it is episode 100, and I'm going to take that time to talk about a new version of success. Forget the programming, the success idea that society has given us. Forget that. We're not doing that anymore. There's a new version of success, and I want to talk to you about what that could look like, and I want to get your ideas on it too. So I'm going to ask you for some feedback, and then I'm going to share with you some ideas and what I'm working on for the summer to see if you want to work on it with me. I'm going to talk about suicide this week. So right after our big celebration, I'm going to bring us all back down to earth and talk about something serious like suicide. And it's because suicide is the reason why I became a therapist. I'll tell you on Thursday what I mean by that. Let's get into today's topic. So I just spent a few minutes telling you what was to come. I also spent a few minutes guessing that you even need to know that or want to know that, right? At this moment right now, you could be judging me saying, would you just get on with it? Or, oh, I don't like her voice. Or that subject is silly, stupid, whatever, right? There's so many things that you could be thinking. But if I was more concerned with what you don't like about me or what you judge about me or any of those things, disagree with about me, if I was more concerned about that than giving you this information that the universe has given me, then I probably wouldn't give it to you because I'd be too distracted. Some of you might describe yourself as humble. Have you ever described yourself that way? I think in America, we've decided that humility or being humble means that we think less of ourselves or we don't take ourselves too seriously. Maybe you've said that sentence. And maybe being humble means putting other people before us, like what they think about us rather than what we believe about our own selves. Well, I heard it said this way. Humble is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. And I just fell in love with that statement because when you don't have to think about yourself or even think about what other people think about you, because that's still you thinking about you. When you don't have to think about yourself, it allows you to open up possibilities that, my goodness, you might not even know were there. Just even be open to receiving blessings that you probably didn't even know were possible. Now, I want to give you a comparison between insecure versus self-conscious. In my definition, insecure is a little bit more severe than self-consciousness. You're still too centered on self to really get to your best and highest good. And the idea here is that you want to be able to be yourself. And that is what holds us down. Now, I used to teach a course called the Complete Confidence Kit. And it was all about how you can be vulnerable to get to your true, authentic self. When you're not vulnerable, when you're hiding behind doing what you think you need to do in order to get the likes you need, just showing up in a way that's just not you. It usually has to do with your insecurity or your self-consciousness. Now, I define self-consciousness as you don't see a part of yourself. You're self-conscious, which kind of masks these great parts of you that you just can't see. Insecurity, I define as you seeing things that aren't there. Like, is my face crooked? And it's like, no, what are you talking about? You're just seeing things about yourself that just aren't there, that just aren't true. Just becoming more upset about yourself than is really necessary. Which one are you? Because maybe you used to be insecure and you've kind of transitioned to maybe being some more self-conscious. And then you can move from being self-conscious to being humble. Humility is where it's at. That's where you get to be your true, authentic self. When you begin to think of yourself less, it reduces your mental stress. Ooh, you do know I love to rhyme, right? Especially when I rhyme accidentally. Ha. Anyways, when you release all the judgment of yourself, like self-judgment and the thoughts of how other people are judging you, when you can release that, it makes life so much more peaceful. Your mental health can relax because it's not overworking, trying to determine what to do or what to not do. I have a friend, and actually have several friends like this. He is so concerned with what other people think that it debilitates him. Sometimes he can't even take the step that he wants to take, or he can't do it with the fervor that he was going to do it with because he has already overthought all the things that other people are going to say. And here's the thing. When you aren't being yourself, you can't serve properly. You can't serve properly because you're too overindulged in what's not there. And you're probably wrong. And here's why. Because all the time you're spending worrying about how other people see you or think about you, they are spending thinking about themselves and how you see them. When I was a kid, my mom used to say, like, if we came home and we say, oh, Cindy doesn't like me or Billy doesn't like me, and she'll say, oh, Billy just hasn't gotten to know you yet. And Billy might be a little jealous of you. Maybe he wants to be like you. And that just changed my whole perspective over people. And I said, oh, okay. Well, then I don't fault Billy for not liking me because he hasn't gotten to know me yet. We'll give him some time, and hopefully he'll pay attention and kind of figure it out. And then I also say, well, see why Billy doesn't, or Billy might be jealous of me because Billy wants to be like me, but maybe doesn't know quite how. And it's okay. I'll be so good at being me that he'll just learn from my example. And that'd be awesome. And then one day we'll be friends. And so I would just kind of let it go because she simplified it for me. And then it really is the way it is. So remember I said in the beginning, I wasn't going to give you a lesson today. No takeaways to go and do. No calls to action, really. Well, the only one I want to give you is this. We have this free quiz called the Life of Meaning quiz. And it kind of helps you determine where you are right now as far as how far away you are from creating a life of meaning. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because our insecurities and self-consciousness are what keep us from creating that life of meaning, because we're so trying to fit in. We're over concerned with if we're doing quote unquote the right thing. Well, you can feel it in your body if it's right. And you know, every day you wake up, it's Monday, right? You woke up this Monday, and maybe you said, wow, I have this great life ahead of me. Like this week, what am I going to do with this awesome life? Or you said, oh, here we go again. If you said that, it's time to take the life of meaning quiz. It's free. It takes about 5 minutes or less, maybe even less. But at the end, you'll find out how close or far you are from creating a life of meaning. So go ahead and go to presidentiallifestyle.com/meaning-quiz. That's all I have for you today, because I do want to keep this short, because tomorrow, well, I could have made it a little longer because you're not going to get an episode tomorrow, but you will on Wednesday. It's going to be so good because we're going to be talking about the fact that it's episode 100. I'm not going to focus on me as much as I'm going to focus on using what I've been through to show you this new version of success. And that might come with some lessons, some step-by-steps, some calls to action. And most importantly, it'll come with more contemplation, because life is not about what you've done. It's about who you are. And that's what I want to leave you with. This idea that, maybe you feel like you're too tall. Maybe you feel like you're too fat. Maybe you feel like you're too short. Maybe you feel like your job title isn't grand enough. Maybe you feel like you don't drive the right car. Maybe you feel like you don't live in the right zip code. All these things, whatever, stop it. That is what you do. That is not who you are. Or your stats, like your height, your weight, none of that is who you are. You could lose weight at any time. Can't get taller though. Trust me, I know. I could wear heels. I do often. But it doesn't even matter. That's the thing. It doesn't matter. People don't even realize how short I am usually when they meet me in person, or even sometimes after knowing me for a while. They're like, you are so tiny. I'm just realizing that. And you know why? Because my personality is tall. My personality is big. And you know why my personality is so big? Because I love my personality. I love myself. I can't be bothered by whether you do or not. That's not my business. I didn't get put on this earth to please the billions. Oh my gosh, can you imagine how stressed, how heavily my mental health would be if I had to worry about what 7 billion people thought about me? Don't do that to yourself. Do not do that to yourself. You can't live your life worried about what other people think. If you do that, if you care about what one person thinks, you're going to have to care about what everybody thinks of you. So what if you could just be your best self? Just ask the universe. And really, by asking the universe, you're just asking yourself. It's inside of you. You'll know when you're aligned, because you won't feel that anxiety. A couple of days ago, I said something that I knew after it came out of my mouth that it probably wasn't the thing that the people in the room wanted to hear, but it was the truth. It was like, okay, guys, you guys can do this. Let's stop complaining. I needed to get people to stop complaining. That shocked them enough to get them to stop complaining. And it was true. So after saying it, I was like, oh, probably going to hear something about that. Somebody's going to say, well, why did you say that? Because that wasn't nice. It's like, maybe it wasn't that nice, but it served the purpose. You were complaining, and it didn't call for complaints. It called for action. And you can't take action when you're complaining. So I know this as a therapist. I know this. Even before I was a therapist, I knew this. And anybody who knows me will tell you, I don't do a lot of complaining. A lot of what I do is action. Control the controllable, right? What do I have control over? Okay, this, then let me do it. Let me take control over it. Oh, shoot, 15 minutes. I got to get out of here. Okay, I just needed to tell you this last thing. Your life is your message. That's what Gandhi said. My life is my message. And if you are living your life worried about what everybody else thinks of you, you're not going to articulate the message you want the world to receive. You're going to articulate the message you think the world would like to receive, which is not the same thing. So go ahead, be yourself, release your insecurities. They do not serve you. Let go of being self-conscious. It's not about you and what you can't see about yourself. It's about everything you are, releasing it, coming out of you for the best and highest good of all. And you know your heart. You have a heart to serve, but you can't serve if you are closed off. So open up, be yourself. Stop seeing what's not there and start seeing what is there, and let the world see it. Because if they don't like you, it's because they don't know you. And if they don't know you, it's because you haven't been yourself. It's not their fault. It's not your fault either, because society tells you that you shouldn't be yourself. But I'm telling you, you can do this. You can be yourself and people will like you. And if they don't, it's because they're not being themselves. Themselves or themselves. Probably themselves. Told you, it's not edited. This is Presidential Experience Live. Uncut, unedited, just real, raw. So I'll see you tomorrow. Oops, not tomorrow. I'll see you Wednesday. So excuse me for making this episode just a little bit longer. This kind of takes for today and tomorrow's episode. Is that okay? Great. I'm so glad you forgive me. Thank you. Now, go out there and be yourself, because you are totally freaking awesome. And take the Life of Meaning quiz so you can get on that path to peace and prosperity, and wealth and health, and wow, just a great life. So I'll see you on Wednesday, and we have so much to talk about, because you need to know this new version of success. It's going to serve you, and you're going to see, and you're going to start saying, I am so proud of me. I am so happy to be me. Thank you, universe, for making me myself. That's what you're going to start saying. I can't wait. If you want to email me, you can at podcast@presidentiallifestyle.com. All right. Take the Life of Meaning quiz. I'll see you back here on Wednesday, and start being yourself. That's all for now. Have a prosperous day, my prosperos.